Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with Nathan A. Webster podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today because, oh my gosh, y'all, we have something in store for you because this is the real deal Holyfield. Today, I'm going to focus on this is the 26th episode. But next level marketing for the new abnormal, we're taking it to a new height, a new level, or deeper depths, however you want to say it, because I got two guests from my folks right next door, Gravitate, and I'm not going to steal any of their thunder. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Alan and Fred. Alan, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Alan Hwang, Director of Growth at Gravitate. Thanks for having us. I run the digital marketing department at Gravitate. So my job is essentially to generate leads and sales for our clients at any means possible or necessary within the digital space. A little bit more about my background. I actually ran my own agency, also in Vancouver. And I would actually see the Gravitate team walk by my office every day, going to their office. About 2 years ago, Gravitate acquired my agency. My team came over to Gravitate, and we've been growing since then under the Gravitate wing. Fred?
Sure, Nathan. I'm a fan of the pod. It's great to join you. I'm a grizzled old marketing hack from way back. I spent 11 years in Tokyo doing B2C consumer product marketing for Disney and Sony. Then 19 years in Silicon Valley, launching 6 or 7 startups, B2B technology startups, with some good, as we say in Silicon Valley, liquidity events, which means IPOs or acquisitions. So, the strategies that we're going to talk about today are strategies that we've used in some pretty high growth businesses, but you can also use them for smaller businesses, mom and pops, mid-size enterprise, Main Street. So some really good tactics here. But also should mention, I was, in my time in Silicon Valley, I was also a client of Gravitate's for 6 years. And I love the team. I love the work so much that I joined the agency this year. And now I'm putting my evil marketing powers to work for Gravitate clients and having a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Alan and Fred. Fred Love, too. I love the last name. Thanks for coming on to the show. For you first-time listeners out there, in case you did not know, this is part 2, if you will, quasi part 2 from Gravitate being on. But we have two different team members, and we're talking about something completely different. But you're going to have to go back to episode 16 to listen to that, if you will. But I want to just really share something real fast. Where did you say you're at, Fred?
Silicon Valley.
So, and Alan, where are you at?
Based in Vancouver, Washington.
Ooh, so y'all, we are doing this on, hey, we're doing this via Zoom. And also, I just want to share too, this is our second time doing this because I failed and did not hit the record button. So we're doing this all over again, and they've been so awesome in supporting this. And this is why I'm like, man, I can't wait to listen again because I'm taking notes as well. But Alan, please take it away with I would say, if you haven't already heard about the ROI or the ROAS, Alan's going to break it down starting now.
Great. Yeah, so Gravitate as a whole is very return on investment focused. The mantra I've always had in this industry is if you're producing results and you're producing profit for your clients, they can't ever fire you. And that's how we've been super successful as far as an agency of, again, hustling to generate those results and growing, our own agency. What we're going to be covering today are some tactics, and it'll all kind of come together of how a actual campaign should be functioning effectively. But Fred, you want to do a quick overview?
Sure. So, the theme of the blog post and of this pod is, we're in the midst of a pandemic and everything is upside down. Harvard Business Review says, don't cut your marketing budget in a recession. But if, it's easy for a professor to say in front of a classroom, but if you're, a business owner on Main Street and you've got rent and payroll coming up, you need to make hard decisions. But you also need to keep the business alive. So the most important thing is to increase ROI on your marketing spend. You may have to cut it, but at least get bang for your buck out of that spend. So what we'll be talking about today is 6 tactics that have been sort of proven for big business, proven for hyper-growth Silicon Valley companies, but things that you can deploy on small businesses and on Main Street. So what we'll cover today is content marketing, marketing automation, analysis, prospecting, customer references, and customer referrals. It's a lot to cover. We're going to be talking fast, but the blog is going to be in the show notes, so you don't need to take notes while we're talking. Just enjoy the show. So I think the first topic is content marketing. Alan, what have you seen that works in content marketing for our clients?
Yeah, so the reason why content marketing is first is because everybody's doing it in some aspect, whether you're writing blogs or you're simply, creating a headline for your website. Actually, yesterday, our marketing team had like a 15-minute discussion for a headline on the website. Go check it out. Tell us what you think. And if it's bad, we'll spend another 15 minutes to change it again. But back to content marketing, the piece that people miss is that they talk about themselves and they talk about their product too much or their service too much versus what the value is to their customer. You have to be thinking about your content in a way of providing value and phrasing it in a way of like you're giving good value and knowledge with your clients. So we actually really empower our clients along the way. When we're partnered with somebody, we teach along the way. We want them to be right, join at the hip and be able to make decisions together. We don't hide anything. We don't shade our analytics or hide our accounts or anything like that. A quick plug of how we've been successful here is, like we're talking right now about a blog post that we have. We create a lot of content. It's all of our marketing stuff. None of this is rocket science. It's just our approach to what we do, and we've seen success, right? The value isn't just the knowledge there, or like the checklist items. It's what our team brings to the table. A good example there is we have a bunch of articles. We actually had a really compelling B2B client come to us. He came to the website for a Google Tag Manager article because he knew he had to set up the foundation of his tracking on the site. Left the site, got hit with our remarketing ads, which are more tips if you ever visited the site and left. And every time he saw one of those ads, he kept thinking like, I need to talk to these guys. I need to get that set up. I need to get that set up. And over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, he actually ended up reaching out and saying, hey, I have this problem. This is me and my marketing team. Where can you help us fill the gaps? And it's super conversational. He already knew us because he read about us and visited the site a few times. And by the way, we're able to track that data along the way. So we knew the interaction that he had before he even got on the phone with them.
Yeah, and I would add, you're an expert on your products. Share your know-how with your prospects and they'll return the favor. If you can help them do their job better, get a promotion, go home by 6, they'll be grateful. And then they'll open your email. They'll pick up the phone when your sales folks call. So, give a little, you get a little. So next up is marketing automation. So Alan, you've deployed a lot of marketing automation instances with our clients. What works? What doesn't work?
Yeah, so marketing automation is funny because for the smaller businesses or even a startup tech company, it seems like a monumental task to start tackling marketing automation. It seems like this crazy big project, and really what it boils down to is starting with the data collection, and then you can figure out how to use that data later. So the automation piece comes after you get the data and you want to automate some of your processes. But if you're starting out, you only have a handful of leads a month, you can just start collecting that data, even if it's in a Google sheet or something like that. Get a Google form going and just keep track of it. Once you become more sophisticated, moving on to Salesforce or HubSpot or something like that would definitely come into play. But as far as the use case of marketing automation, again, the goal here is to learn your audience and to create opportunity for further marketing. People aren't going to purchase from you. They're not going to reach out to you the first interaction they have with you. But if you give them a good piece of content, they'll give you their email, and then you can market to them, whether it's email marketing, which is pretty classic, or you can actually take that data and create prospecting ads on LinkedIn and Facebook. And another step from that, you can take that data from your audience and create lookalike audiences where you're finding more people that are like the guys that filled out the form on your site. Anything to add to that, Fred?
Yeah, marketing automation changed the industry. It revolutionized the industry 10 years ago. And just made everything much more efficient, much more accountable. But it is a heavy lift. It's a lot of work, and the platforms have recognized that they're adding value, and so they've gotten really expensive. So Eloqua, Marketo, HubSpot, Pardot, all of them synced to Salesforce. That's a heavy lift, and it's a lot of money. So if you're a smaller business, it may be beyond your scope, but we've actually come across a competitor called SharpSpring that brings together marketing automation and CRM on one platform, and is depends on how much the original cost is, but 1/5 the cost of some of the competitors to 1/10 the cost. So if you're a small business, check out SharpSpring. It'll get you up and running a lot faster and a lot cheaper. So once you have the marketing automation platform in place, then you can start doing reporting. So Alan, what have you seen around the results that reporting can drive?
Yeah, just to start piecing this together a little bit more, the automation piece helps power some of your reporting when you have the right pixels and code in place to tie that ecosystem together. So with the example I gave earlier, content marketing, we wrote an article, somebody visited the site, they left, took all these different interactions, came back to the site, filled out our form. We saw all of this through our marketing, our CRM software. So we were able to connect all the dots and know how they've interacted with us before. Reporting really boils down to what you care about. We see a lot of clients get 10 to 30 page reports, and they're able to be pretty transparent with us. Like, I don't care about what the data is. I care about these 3 things. So report these 3 things to me. We have clients that are really return on ad spend focused. We have clients that are very lead focused or click focused. It really depends on what your goals are, right? So the first step would be to create a dashboard or some sort of organized manner of keeping track of your KPIs, your key performance indicators. Again, this can literally be a Google sheet where you're saying clicks, I'm at this, website traffic, I'm at this, and I'm spending this much. And then if you're increasing your spend, you hope that your clicks and traffic would increase. It can be as simple as that. And then as you scale, you can get a lot more complex. One key aspect to reporting is that it shouldn't all be green arrows that are going up. You want to report on the bad things as well. You're using reporting to look for trends, and you're looking to learn, not just feel good about yourself and pat yourself in the back. So if you have a marketing coordinator and they're giving you a report that's all green arrows and everything's increasing 100% every month, I would look at other metrics other than what you're tracking, because that's just not correct. You should be learning and growing from your reports.
Yeah, and I think it's also important what you're reporting. So you can track like your social media likes, and that's all well and good and makes you feel good. But this platform is going to give you the ability to really drill down into marketing ROI. What are you spending on marketing? What's working? Double down on what's working. What's not working? Fix it or get rid of it. And that's going to really help you get your ROI up on that spend, especially in these tough times. And it's like the old marketing adage, I know I'm wasting half my marketing budget, I just don't know what half. Now you know what half, and you can fix it. And that's critical. So we've been talking sort of theoretically or strategically here, but let's get down to nitty gritty. So Alan, if you're actually, got your platform in place, you got your reporting in place, how do you run ads that are really going to drive the results you're looking for?
Yeah, so again, kind of piecing this together, anytime we're looking at prospecting ads, which is engaging a new audience, and keep in mind, this is different than paid search ads, which is somebody's looking for your product or service or a solution that you're offering, right? Instead of relying on the search traffic, you're saying, you are this demographic and you do this for a living, so I want you to see what I have to offer. Again, tailoring the content marketing piece, don't just talk about the technology. Nobody cares how it happened. They just care how it impacts them, right? Nobody cares about the technology in the iPhone. I just care that it gets my emails for me and it doesn't break on me.
Hey, it's funny you say that, because I just want to jump in, and please don't lose that, what you're saying, because I think a lot of folks say, I want everybody to be my customer. And you're really, with that content marketing, it's like you're segmenting, which is the retargeting. Can you pepper a little bit of that in about the segmenting and being very specific in this? Because you're really touching on some gold that people just don't think about when it comes to their marketing strategy.
Yeah, definitely. So again, when we're talking about prospecting ads, We are looking at the entire digital ecosystem. So we're looking at from the first impression somebody gets to when they go to your site and leave, what happens and what's their experience there. Like you're saying, Nathan, a very common problem is I have this cool technology or I have this product. Everybody needs this. Everybody's my audience. Like, okay, cool. When we populate that into Facebook or LinkedIn, you have 50 million people in your audience. Like you have a small ad budget. There's no way you're going to reach 50 million people. If you're looking to reach 100,000 people or 300,000 people, that's more obtainable because you want to be touching them, 3 or 4 times with your ads to actually be effective, right? So the first step that we take in our ecosystem is who are we targeting and what are we advertising to them? And this generally starts with segmenting your audience. So if you're a tech company, you can say, I want to target the food and bev because they could utilize their software, and this is how they can utilize our software. You could be targeting finance, and it could be the same solution, but the benefit that finance is going to have from food and bev is going to be different. Food and bev, they might be able to streamline their process, which saves them money. Finance, it might be a different terminology, or it might be a different cost savings implementation from deploying your software, your product to them. If you're running a bakery, even how do you target? Like moms could be a target demographic, or it could be we need to be trendier on the like the influencer marketing type thing. So that's the first piece there. And then you just tailor the rest of the experience to that. So you tailor what ads you're showing them, what offers are you showing that demographic in food and bev. Like let's tailor the messaging to them and the offer. Then the landing page, again, that needs to be tailored to your audience. And then even the experience once they leave the site, the remarketing ads or emails they get should be tailored to them.
And I'd add to that, another quick hit that will increase your ROI is a concept called lightning strikes, which is, typically you peanut butter your marketing budget through the year. You spread pretty evenly. And especially if you're a smaller business, that just means your marketing gets buried by bigger competitors. You're just not spending enough to cut through. So a strategy to get over that is called lightning strikes. Take the peanut butter and spread it a little thinner, and then take a couple of chunks of budget and do short, sharp, high impact hits of marketing for a short period of time, 2 days, and cut through the clutter and spend and get your prospects' attention in a way that you're outspending, you're getting more attention than your competitors. You get their attention, get them on the website, get them in your marketing pipeline, and then you can dial it back down and get back to normal. But now you've got names in your pipeline. And especially if you align these lightning strikes around product launches, acquisitions, some kind of big news where you've really got something to talk about. And you can even use these to rally the entire company. So if you're talking about a lightning strike for a new product launch, the entire company, product development, sales and marketing, admin are all going to be working together to make that lightning strike successful. So you can position yourself as a marketing leader in the company to actually moving the needle for the entire company without spending any more money. It's just being more strategic about it.
And by the way, if you have your reporting set up, you're able to see which lightning strike works best, like what do people care about, and also which audience. So now you can start moving away from audiences that aren't performing and focusing more in on the audiences that are.
Wow, cool. That was rapid fire, and it was for the take two. It was fire. For those that like mind or blown, they're gonna have to listen to this again. They're like, this is too much information. What would it look like for them to get to the point to where they could implement this?
Yeah, I would say, even if you're a small business, if you're not even if you're enterprise level, regardless of the size, it's the same kind of campaign strategy that really makes a difference. Again, if you're a bakery with a new offer for holiday meals that somebody can take away, you could still take the same tactics and tailor it to your audience. Like, who am I talking to? What do I care about? And then you can implement your campaign that way. If you're enterprise level, it's the same thing, but it's just on a larger scale of like, who is my target audience? What do they care about? And how do I advertise to them? It's the same tactic and same campaign structure, just different scales.
Making sure things are integrated too. If running some LinkedIn ads by themselves aren't going to move the needle a lot. But if you're doing organic posts in LinkedIn, sponsoring those posts, pointing to new blogs, running LinkedIn ads and in-mails, get it all working together. And that's where you get 1 + 1 = 3. So think holistically, not one-offs. So another way to move the needle is customer references. So references are marketing gold. It's way more valuable to have your customers say you're awesome than you saying you're awesome. So, get it, make a formal program that really encourages that. So, put together a program where you reward the customers for using their logo, for quotes, for case studies, and you can, offer swag, gift cards, take them to events. Also position it as it's good for us. It'll help us be a better vendor for you. It's good for you. If somebody Googles you and you're featured in a case study as a thought leader, damn, that's great. So another great tactic is to put a reference clause in your sales contract. So have it in your contract, offer a discount for referenceability, increase your estimate 5% and then offer a discount of 5%. So it doesn't cost you anything. Don't tell anybody I said that. But get it in the contract and get the client to, agree to it. They're glad to get the discount. And then when it comes time for you to go to them for a reference, they're on your side. They want to do it for you because they got a discount. If you don't get that into the contract and you go to them for a reference later, then you're begging them for a favor. And often if it's a larger organization, you have to go to the PR team and there's nothing in it for the PR team. So they're just going to say no. But if who you sold to got the discount, they will go to the PR team and say, do the damn reference. So, that's a great tactic, get that working. Customer referrals are another great tactic. Customer referrals are another great tactic. So that's, your customers know your service. Hopefully they like you. They know their peers. And if they make that connection, oh yeah, I like Gravitate and I know this company needs Gravitate, they'll refer you. But if you make a formal program around that, where you have a thank you gift for referrals, if you have a form on your website where it's fill in a couple of lines, hit click, that's all they have to do. And then we'll go talk to the prospect and see if it's a fit or not. And this is probably one of the easiest lift, highest return activities you can do. So for example, at a startup where I worked, Nimble Storage, second year of business, as we were trying to grow things, we put together a referral program. Our customers loved us and they were referring anyway. We put a form on our website, told them if you make a referral that becomes a deal, we'll give you an iPad. In 2 years, the program drove 91 deals and $8.3 million in revenue, all for the cost of one iPad per deal. And the deals or the opportunities also closed at above 30%. So imagine you had a marketing pipeline with prospects coming into the sales team and you could close them at 30%. That's money in the bank. So do the referrals. So, in total, with tactics like these, you can really show that marketing isn't just a business expense that you need to cut in a downturn. It's a revenue center that's going to drive growth. Whether it's a downturn, whether it's upturn, you got to keep the lights on. And these are some quick hits and ways to get you through these crazy times. What more could you ask for? So with that, let's wrap it up. Alan, how do people follow up? How do they get in touch? And also, I shouldn't wrap. Nathan, questions. You're the marketing pro. Tear this apart.
No, the only thing I'll add, and it's not tearing apart, is just helping you, the listeners, understand that marketing is an investment. The more you look at it as an expense and you try to cut, you're going to do the absolute worst thing for your brand. Unless you absolutely need to cut, you got to keep the business afloat. That makes sense. But this is an investment. And I think what you all, both of you, Alan and Fred, shared is something that people need to wrap their minds around. And it's a mentality of understanding that this investment will pay off, but you have to do it strategically. It can't be done overnight, nor is it microwavable, which I think a lot of people think marketing is, or like with Facebook, I'm just going to boost it and that's going to work. And that's not the strategy. It's a tactic, and it's a tactic that works for Facebook, not for you when you boost stuff. So I think for those that don't see it as an investment, and maybe you're speaking to the person that needs to hear this, like maybe a leader that doesn't believe in marketing, what would you say to them to help them, come back and listen to this again so they can understand this strategy that and tactics that you talked about?
If you have a leader that doesn't believe in marketing, pull the ripcord and get out. If they don't get it, it's not my job to teach them.
Hey, touche. I love that. You're 100%. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so let's do this right. So it's not marketing without a call to action. Alan, how do folks get in touch with Gravitate?
Yeah, so Gravitate's always happy to help, whether you're a small business looking for just get pointed in the right direction. I feel like that's half my job, is just talking to businesses saying, we might not be a good fit now, but let's get the conversation going and we'll at least point you in the right direction of where to start. So always happy to help. Visit us at gravitatedesign.com. Follow us on Instagram at Gravitate Design. And feel free to connect with Brett and I on LinkedIn. We're always sharing knowledge. Always happy to help again. Yeah.
And shout out to Nathan too. Like and share Let's Talk Marketing podcast, because we're fans. We're liking and sharing. Get the word out. Let's grow this thing.
Awesome. Yeah, you two have been awesome. Thank you again. I mean, y'all, you don't understand. Like, we were about almost done, and I was like, I didn't record. So I just want to say thank you to you both for like being troopers and say, hey, come on, let's go. Let's do it again. That's what we do. So thank you, Alan and Fred, for coming on to the show.
Been great. Thank you so much. All right, cheers.
So for those that are listening that are not able to watch the video, again, we are on YouTube. I will include the show notes that include both the links to Gravitate's. Actually, I'm just going to include one because I want you to go to Gravitate's website, and then if you want to watch or go to the Harvard Business Review link, you got to click on their site. And that's a little strategy behind that, but that's other stuff that we'll talk about later. For those that haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the podcast. We are on Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. If you haven't left a review or rating, please do so. If you want to get in contact with me directly, you can send me an email to info@nwebsterllc.com. And I wish you the very best. If you haven't taken the time to invest in yourself, please start now. Please start doing it with these simple steps. This is what we do. It's all for free, y'all, because I'll tell you, I promise you, if you wanted to schedule an appointment, y'all, it's going to cost some bucks. So with that being said, I wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.